All right, we are live. Um, big, big stuff going on. We've had 3 trades in the last 4 days to talk about. Of course, we're going to also be talking about the minor league players that are impacted. So, kind of the agenda tonight. We're going to talk about the trades that have already happened. Then we're going to take a break from trade talk, go through what happened today in the minor league system. Some guys had some big games, and then we're going to open it up. We're going to talk about Nolan Arenado, all those types of dudes and everything like that. So let's get started on the new topic, and that is going to be all the dudes that were traded. So let's talk about the first trade that happened. Kike Hernandez for Nick Robertson and Justin Hagenman. Hagen, I want to say Hagen Dazs, but so Justin, 26 years old, drafted by the Dodgers in 2018. If you look at his career, he's been first year whatever, second, third year good. 2020 was of course the disaster. Shoot, I'm gonna start recording. I'm gonna start again real quick, real quick. I am trying to record and I was screwed up. So let's do this again. New topic. Sorry everybody. And a 1 and a 2. All right. Back to this. So first trade we're gonna talk about that happened was it Tuesday? Yeah, the Kike Hernandez trade. Enrique comes back, gets a new number 8, and the Dodgers traded Nick Robertson and Justin Hageman. Well, first, let's talk about Justin. Like I said, Justin was drafted in 2018, round 23. Wow, back in the day when there was 40 rounds. Good times. We missed those. But so Justin was part of the trade, goes to Boston. Could already see he's already gotten in a game for he's with their AAA team also and had one game got a hold, so good for him. This will probably be the last time we ever talk about Justin on this thing, but he had a really nice year at OKC. You can see the year before he in 2022 he was pretty bad, 5.57 ERA. PCL he just got knocked around quite a bit. This year picked it up. 25 games. Let's see, where's IP? 58 innings pitched, 48 hits, 11 walks, and oh man, we got to go over here for the strikeouts. 60 strikeouts. Let me expand the screen a little bit. See if that helps. Yeah, that'll help. Good for him. Gets an opportunity. As we all know, the Dodgers are clogged. They also just seem to have favorites and not favorites. And I don't think Justin really was on that track for the Dodgers, or he should have been brought up possibly the way the bullpen's been this year. I know it's been good the last month and a half, so credit there. But Monty just we'll talk about that in a minute. That was bad. So that's Justin Hageman for his Dodger career. Rest in peace. Let's see, Nick Robertson, friend of the show. I was able to, last time I was at Dodger Stadium, July 6th, he struck out the side when he came in against the Pirates, and I got a chance to interview him. And so there's a little interview. It's, only a couple minutes long on the Magic YouTube channel. And, but Nick, spent, 2021 in AA, and then a lot of 2022 in AA. Finally got promoted to AAA and have nine games, and then in 2023, of course, he started with OKC and he got to spend some time with the Dodgers. I think it was only a few games. That's cool. It looks like he already got in for Boston in their AAA system, but he had a really nice AAA season. 20.1 innings, 19 hits, 42 Ks, and was it 9 walks. And then with the Dodgers, he had only really a couple good outings. I'll admit that. So he did get knocked around. 10.1 innings, 17 hits, 13 strikeouts. Is what it is. I had high hopes for him, but that's it. Thank you, Nick, for your kindness. Truly a friend of the show, and we just totally respect him. And then the next trade, we got Ahmed Rosario for Noah Syndergaard. The only thing that, of course, impacted, excuse me, the only thing that impacted, I better edit that out, was, our rehab guys, with him rehabbing. So, Noah gave it his best for the Dodgers. I got the wrong glasses on again. I got to get my cool Hondo from Maverick glasses on. And also a little bit of tribute to Mark Hoppus. They're a little different than what he has, though. He's from Blink-182. So, we had the trade of the next trade, of course, was what happened today. We had the Dodgers got Lance Lynn and one of the greatest Dodgers of all time, Joe Kelly. By the way, I am drying my 2 Joe Kelly shirts. I have the Nice Swing shirt, and then I have the Joe Kelly Fight Club shirt. Those will be on display. I'll be wearing those. Glad to have Joe back in a lot of ways. He had his numbers looked really good in terms of all the cool numbers and all that, the advanced numbers. So hopefully he has some success with the Dodgers. We need him. We really need him. And then, of course, we got Lance Lynn, who pretty darn terrible, but as a lot of people said, there's a couple points, right? He averages about 6+ innings a game, gives up 4 runs. I think we'll take that. We need, we will take that compared to what we've been getting. And then the other is a really good point. The Rays and the Dodgers both wanted this guy. So even though I've talked about it, I've tweeted about it, I was not a fan of getting him, but now that the trade's been made, I'm going to go with, Andrew Friedman, almost kind of friend of the show, fan of the site. He said it himself. We're going to go with what the Dodgers are going to go with. They've been way more right than wrong. Everyone could be wrong. They are wrong less than a lot of other teams, and definitely wrong less than us. But so the Rays and the Dodgers want him. Think they could fix him. We shall see. Sounds like he's going to start Tuesday, Wednesday, or something like that. It'll be interesting. I actually saw him pitch at Dodger Stadium, but that was in June, and he got beat up pretty good. Strikes out a lot of guys, though. Even with his bad numbers, strikes out a lot of guys. It's just a matter of him listening. He's going to have to be teachable. That's a big thing, right? He has to be teachable. In order to succeed with what the Dodgers have, you have to be teachable. The Dodgers draft guys like that. Hopefully they had a little chat, and he's going to come in and listen. I know he's kind of one of those old school dudes, and I respect the old school. He wants to go complete games. He wants to throw more than 100 pitches. He wants to do all that stuff. But, let's look at what old school got Madison Bumgarner. Nobody has signed him. I don't think anyone cares about him. He is basically old schooled himself out of the league, and so can't be so stubborn. Or Lance Lynn will not have much of a contract demand next year. The cost, though, rough. Okay, Trace Thompson, that's fine. I mean, Trace has been really good at OKC. We know how Trace can be hot and cold. All the best to him. He's a nice guy. First interaction actually was with my son. My oldest had an interaction with him in 2016. Just the kindest guy. All the best to Trace Thompson. I really hope he sticks in the major leagues and can play another 5-10 years in the major leagues. We get a chance to stick with the White Sox maybe. Stay with them a couple years at least, and then someday reach free agency and do what he wants. But he will be missed in many ways. I mean, he was well liked, really good human. Just had, just really everything fell apart for him this year. So we'll see what happens. And the next guy, of course, was Jordan Leisure. And That was a tough one. You look at this, 35 innings and 56 Ks. Ooh, boy, that's pretty darn good. So White Sox are getting a good one there. That was in Double-A. So Jordan and the other guy we'll talk about. Oh my gosh, he shares the same birthday that I do, except I'm a little bit older, and he was born just really a few days before my youngest son. So this is a guy that this may hurt. This may hurt. So we'll see about that. 24 years old. However, I got to be honest with you. Guys who are already relievers, the Dodgers will be happy to trade them. Guys in the minor league system that are just relievers right now, they're on the block before just about anyone else. And so if it takes an extra reliever to make a trade happen, they're going to do it. And that's where the next one really gets me, because I think the other guy that they traded, Nick Nastrini. Oh my gosh. Nick Nastrini. Why did I say Nastrini? Oh, I did go to Italian sandwich place today. I don't know. Nick Nastrini, truly a friend of the show. I said it before, but he shares the same pitching coach my son used to have. My youngest one, he used to pitch, the best pitching coach in San Diego, a man named Patrick Edwards. If you have a kid in the San Diego area, dial him up. Just hit me up. I'll get you his contact information. He is the best. He's also, Nick is the guy plays. He's a off-season catch partner with a guy named Michael Mikado with the Rays, and Michael played for me in Little League and was a teammate in juniors, which is 13s and 14s, and then was a teammate of my son in travel ball also. So Michael Mikado, buddies with Nick Nastrini, friend of the show, lives real close to where I used to live. Went to Cathedral Catholic. So it's a real bummer. I DM'd him, just sent him a little kind message. I do think he's in for big things. This one does hurt. This one really does hurt. I'm not a fan of it, to be honest, but again, I'm not in charge. Let me get the chat up. I'm missing the chat. Is it chat? There it is. Because I saw that. So Nastrini, that is rough. I don't like trading Nastrini. Hey, Austin, good evening. Disappointed to lose. Yeah, encouraging things. Nice getting production 1 through 9 this year. Yeah, we have. Nick's a good one. This 2021 draft, there's going to be a lot of those guys that make the big leagues. We already got Emmett Sheehan from that one. Leisure and Nastrini are both from that draft. And I expect them to be in the major leagues within a year or two. Probably Leisure a little quicker, just because he is a reliever. Nastrini here, 73 innings this year, 85 punch outs, 37 walks. So if you all don't know the story about Nastrini, when he at UCLA, he was terrible in terms of control. He really struggled with that. And he's been with the Dodgers, and they keep getting narrowing, getting him better and better, and so that's great. What I worry about these guys when they leave the organization is that they don't have the same level of instruction and knowledge that the Dodgers have. So hopefully the White Sox do not screw this up. So all the best to Nick Nastrini. With that move, with that big trade today, it took two guys off we need to get 2 guys off the roster. They DFA'd, and this was shocking. I think maybe y'all were shocked. Maybe the Dodgers feel Nastrini's weaknesses make him a future reliever. I did see a tweet about that. Maybe that's the case. I honestly believe, and I think I've said this before, I believe if the Dodgers think a guy's not going to be a starter, they're going to let him be traded first. So Bobby Miller, I think they do believe, is a starter. So that's why we have him. And so we'll see what happens. It's going to be really interesting with Nastrini. All the best to him, whether it's starter or reliever. I just want to see that kid make it. And And so we lost Eddys Leonard. Well, we haven't lost him. He's been DFA'd, which means what? He has to be officially waived or released. I can't remember. Or, go through waivers. If he passes it, they can keep him in the organization, or they have to trade him. I would expect him to be traded. We will talk about future trades soon. So Eddys, he got off to a terrible start this year, but dang it, he really got moving this year. Last year 264, this year 254, but I think that's only going to improve. I do hope we can somehow retain him. That makes Austin Gauthier our top shortstop prospect, at least in terms of levels. I don't know if he's the actual one, but it's so cool to see him in the top 30 for the MLB pipeline. It just makes me so happy. Awesome. So Eddys, gosh darn it, another just a good guy. Covered him in 2021 with the Quakes. Got a chance to chat with him briefly in spring training. Really nice guy. I hate it, but that's part of this. Whatever happens with Eddys, and I don't say it right, I know. He's just a guy that you want him to prosper. Good dude. And then the other guy that got DFA'd was Justin Bruihl. I just don't think he's gonna be back. I think he's proven that he's a major league pitcher in my opinion. He's a lefty. He doesn't throw terribly hard. He throws all that breaking stuff that sweeps across the plate. This year in the minors, they had him. What's that? Cal League briefly. He pitched one game. I missed that. Wish I would have seen that. But with the Dodgers, 407 ERA. He came in though and did some dirty work. In AAA dominated. So there's no reason for him to go back. I think he'll get claimed by somebody. Hopefully that one doesn't get back and hurt us bad. Let's see, Jamie. I feel horrible for Tulsa in this situation, losing the two pitchers and Eddys for now. Oh yeah. Hopefully we'll leave some of the big holes on the. Yeah, we'll leave big holes on the team. I wonder who will step in for their places. So it is a good time for them to make these moves, because the college guys are coming in. In fact, we'll talk about it. Rancho already has 3 draft picks that have signed. So I think on Sunday I'm still trying to. I got denied a press pass on Sunday. I'm hoping. I just asked, say, hey, put me on the list in case someone drops out. If that doesn't work out, I might go up to Rancho instead. We'll see. Or I may stay home and hang out with my wife. All 3 are good options. Yeah, there's a lot of holes there. They'll be pulling some people up for sure. So expect, 2 or 3 from Great Lakes. And yeah, it does leave a hole. So I do think they need to bring up an infielder for sure. I don't know who it would be. I don't think Freeland's quite ready yet. We'll see about that. Really, there's tons of pitchers, so that'll happen. No issues at all. I kind of like that. Might be a little quick, and he had a rough start last time. I like to see Bruns go up, but he's not a reliever. But that staff is getting a little short. I would expect some more promotions to come, but also this is a lot of these are going to happen after the trade deadline. So Justin Bruihl, I think he's gone. I did an article about him way back when he wasn't known. Met his dad online. Good dude. Really appreciate him. So those are the guys that we've lost. So to all of them, we've covered all of them in some way, and we appreciate them, and we wish them all the best. And what can you do? Let's just hope that they all get a better chance with other organizations, but also to not regress because they are moving to another organization. All right. Next topic, let's cover what happened today. And we're going to start with... We have... well, let's start with the transactions, because there's been a lot lately. And of course, this thing is acting dumb. I gotta cut and paste. How dare they? I just haven't set my default browser. This happened last time too, didn't it? All right, transactions. There's been a few. Let's go back. We'll just go back to the 27. Oh my gosh. We'll cover some of these. All right. So we've seen, well, we'll go from here. So Bruihl was optioned. They recalled Tyson Miller. Yainer got put on the 7-day injured list. Max Hewitt was transferred to the development list. Ben Serenkuma, the young man from Uganda, assigned back to ACL. It was Luis Guerra, like him, sent back also. And then here comes the draft picks. Joe Vetrano, and so I'm hoping to meet these guys soon so I can get their names right. Sam Mongeli, and Jordan Thompson. That's an easy one. All three of those guys are with Quakes. Thompson did start at short, I think, yesterday. Dayton Dooney was released. He's actually been playing a lot of first base for the Quakes. Joni, that's what he is. Back to OKC. We see those things already. We've seen those. Oh, Jake Geloff, ACL. He will be at Rancho soon. Brian Gonzalez to the ACL Dodgers. I wonder when we see him, because he's younger. But Geloff is not, and so I expect to see him soon. Rancho ACL activated guys. Yeah, exciting. Tulsa Drillers activated Josh. I think he pronounces it Stowers. So we'll go Stowers. I have a friend named Stowers. He's activated back. He's hit the ball hard this year. Keegan Curtis activated by OKC, and then we got the transfers between Mega and Batista. That happens a lot. They just like to balance. I think just mix things up down there. It doesn't hurt. They just walk to nowhere. They're probably even in the same locker rooms, my guess. And Kendall George, our number 1 draft pick, is signed to the ACL Dodgers. Super excited about that. Now he is at a high school. We will see if he comes to Rancho this year. I don't know. He may not, and that's okay. Definitely see him next year. Very excited to see the grade 90 speed. I'm going to have to change our thing to Dodgers 2090 just based on the speed of Kendall George. Yeah, so there's the transactions. And let's see. Let's go to real quick. We're going to go to the Mega Team, the Dominican Summer League. And as usual, they win. They're 25-11. Good Lord. Let's see any highlights here. Mr. Guerrero, the shortstop. I don't remember these guys' first names. I'm not going to jump around because it's darn late. Let's see. Let's look at home runs. We got Ramirez with his 5th. Herrera with his 4th. And, he hit. Oh, okay, very good. He hit 2. Yeah, I should have seen that right at the beginning there. And so let's see. AD. What's it? God, is it Angel? Angel? I think that's Angel Diaz. So 19-year-old getting 400. That's it. Come on, step it up. And guess what? He's a catcher from Venezuela. Surprise! Another catcher from Venezuela. Hot dog. Look for this guy. And so the pitching wise, Brito, that was the guy they got last year in the Mitch White trade along with Frasso. Romero. Is that? It's not Christian, is it? No. Luciano Romero. I think Christian got put on the development list. Yeah. So many players here, I just get lost in all of it. Nothing totally stands out. Well, Romero does stand out. 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. It's unearned and 2 Ks. No, 1 walk. Okay. Let's take a look at real quick at that. So that was Mega. I get him confused. And then we're going to go to Bautista. Oh, I forgot the H. Let's do that again. Rogers, change your default browser, you fool. All right. They are 30-7. Good Lord. I footage on him on Moises Brito. Yeah. Good luck, right? I believe he's left-handed. I think that's the case. Let's see. So this is a tight one there for the Bautistas. He only got 5 hits. Only 2 of them RBIs. Probably one on some errors. Nothing really special in the batting. Where's our guy? Oh, I don't see the shortstop. He must not have played today. No wonder they didn't get many runs. Pitching wise, I don't see anything standing out yet. Not really. The thing I really look at, I'm looking at this one, and I'm looking at this one. So walks and strikeouts are what I'm looking for. That's what we need. We got that, and they build off that, and so that's kind of how they roll. ACL. And they had a win also. So 3 for 3 so far. Regretfully, the Dodgers definitely messed that one up for us. Let's see, Samuel Munoz. The power will come. Martinez. So this is it's a long name. And I definitely Maro Shendrick. 18 years old, hitting only 226, but this is one to watch, and plus it's just kind of a cool way to spell Martinez. That sounds more anglicized, doesn't it? Martinez than Martinez. So we got Perez. He played a little bit at Rancho. We got Carlito Rojas. Wait, what? Willman go back down? No. I didn't see that. I did not see that. That got missed. But it looks like Willman got sent back down. That's terrible. I'm really bummed for him. Gosh, kid needs to catch a break. Yeah, I'm really bummed for that. That's a little upsetting. Pitching, what do we get? We got some walks. We got a lot of Ernies. Abad. Okay, Abad saved the day. Literally got the save. 1.2 innings, no walks, 3 Ks. We'll take it. All right, let's go to things that we know a little bit more about. Familiar players. I just want to get us, not just you, I want to get us familiar with these other guys. Yeah, I don't know why Willman got sent down. See, the thing is, when guys get bad news, I really don't reach out to them. It's just I don't like dealing with that stuff. Let's go with pitching first. So Peter Hubeck, 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 earns, no walks, 3 Ks. So he did give up a dong. Obviously hurt. Jonathan Edwards, nice outing for him. 2 innings, no hits, no nothing, and then 1 K. Very good. McDaniels, that's a lefty. Garrett McDaniels, I think his name is. 1 inning, 1 walk, no Ks. Madison, Jeffrey, 1 inning, 1 walk, 3 Ks. It's just for him, and he wouldn't shy away from it. It's the walks. Those walks are, he's throwing 100 or close to it. So kind of a bummer for him. I know he struggles. The dude works hard. He's gosh, one of the most friendly guys out there. All right, let's go to our guys hitting. Very good, Jose Josh Azara, 1 for 4, but he had 3 runs, so did the job of a leadoff hitter. So we had to pull out, really? Wow, 4 at bats, no hits, no walks, and 2 Ks. That won't happen much. My man, Theron. I gotta get that because it's spelled Theron, but I've heard Theron too. 5 at bats, 2 hits. He had a home run in there. That's his 16th. If I'm a team, I am looking at him. That's for sure. I'm looking at getting him. I hope they don't. Here we go. Vetrano, the first baseman, the real rook. I mean, right out of college, the draftee, 1 for 5. He had a hit yesterday too. Donkey, 1 for 3 at third base. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I really like him at third base. Luis Rodriguez, 2 for 4. Coming, 281. That's good. Such an improvement from last year. Here's a guy, Simon Reed. It's a miracle he struck out. He's been really good lately, getting the bat on the ball, hitting the ball the opposite way. I watched his batting practice last week, and just purposely going opposite field, making contact, getting a lot of doubles that way. Jorge Puerta. Okay, Willman's down here. So Willman's still here. Thank goodness. That was something wrong. That was a bad link on the other one. Thank God. Literally, thank God. I really am rooting for this kid. He needs it. Puerto, 1 for 3, doing a good job. Willman, 2 for 4. Keep hitting, Willman. They'll have faith. Second base, playing second base. Donkey, third base with another error. I'm okay with that. The athleticism is there to be a good third baseman. Okay, and we already talked about pitching. And let's go to the Loons. I would have these all pre-set up, but it just kills memory. Dang it. H. Really not grabbing the H, am I? Poo. Man, some weak sauce on my part. Considering I'm a software engineer, I should be doing this all the time. My typing is still, gosh, poo. Let's go to the beginning, home. Boom, there we go. Hey, Loons. Got a W from our Loons. So let's take a look. Let's keep in mind that some of these guys are going to get promoted. Okay, so start with pitching. Choi pitched, but he struggled a bit. 3.1 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. Luis Diaz, okay. Christian Suarez, dang, he had such a good start. Adolfo, good. He's still walking more than usual. I mean, that guy last year was pinpoint. And then Hobbs, giving up earns, but he's been pretty darn good. Michael Hobbs been pretty darn good this year. He's had like a couple that has made his ERA kind of stink, but even with that, he's come back. It's like Yener, huh? What am I seeing? Is this today? It's today. We saw that he was on the injured list. Whatever. So Taylor Young. So Alex Freeland, 1 for 3. Keep your eye on him. I don't think he's quite ready, but he did have a home run. He'll probably stay down for a little bit. Yener was the DH. Damon Keith, 0 for 2. Lockpell, 0 for 4. Oh, man, come on, guys. Betancourt. Kenneth Betancourt. Promote that guy. This guy deserves it. That guy keeps beating. I think he gets moved around a lot. He's kind of that guy. Well, we need a guy. Let's move him around. He gets moved more than anybody in this system. Bubba, 1 for 3, and Jake Vogel, 1 for 3. Man, I want him to keep going, get better. All right, so that's the Loons. Nice W. Let's take a look at our drillers. The thing is, you can't just go to the latest game. It's always got to be, this URL. It's all complex and all that, or else I just do it. So they took a heavy loss. They're 49-45. They've been going down a bit, and plus, like it was mentioned earlier in the chat, the struggle there. So with losing guys, they lost Nastrini, they lost Leisure, they lost Eddys. Dang, it's a lot. Okay, so Austin Guthier, the highest ranked of our shortstops in terms of where he's at, and still is considered a prospect. Jorbit Vivas, 0 for 4. Jose Ramos, 0 for 3. Ramos has to go on the 40-man at the end of this year. So last year he wasn't. This year they got to do something with him. Emmanuel Vargas, Luis Diaz. Oh no. This is the other one. Yusniel. Why Diaz? I'm struggling today. Cody Hosey, 2 for 3. Gosh, it'd be great if he could be healthy for a while. With a home run. Alcantara. So nothing really much there, obviously. Pitching wise, Nick Frosso got lit. I think part of this is I think he's kind of worn down. He's a thin guy. He's a thin dude. And I think he does profile as a reliever. And that's just what I think. So I think he's slowing down as a starter. I think he does profile as a reliever. I think that's where he makes the major leagues. The Betancourt with a mustache. Let's see. Harris. Oh, no strikeouts for Harris, for Ben. And then Vanasco they got for Luis Valdez, the lefty. Still hate that trade. Just saying. Let's see here. I'm going to take a look. All right. So, poo for the Drillers. Not their day. OKC, they were still playing. Last I checked. Let's just go to it. They were up like 14-12. Did they finish? And they did finish it off. Let's see. Okay, Drew Havens 2 for 5. Michael Busch 4 for 6. Oh yeah. Miguel Vargas 2 for 4. That's good. Cole Calhoun, man, that guy wants to come up, doesn't he? 3 for 5. Yoni 1 for 3. Ryan Ward 1 for 5. Devin 1 for 4. That's a guy I'm looking at both Man and Fiducia to be moved. They need to be. Those are guys that are going to be chosen Rule 5. So I would expect them to be added as part of a trade. Let's see, Mark Washington, good one today for good enough. The walk, a lot of hits, but some you never know. Mark also, that's another guy. Mark Washington, he deserves a move. It's only fair. I think Victor's still on the 40-man. I was surprised. To be honest, I guess he does have good stuff. It's all over the place. Keegan Curtis, saw him, and Adam Kolarek, and Wander Suaro comes in with a save. He's doing pretty good. I just don't know if he's got stuff to help the Dodgers. And speaking of the Dodgers, rookies today, Outman did draw a walk. And I think he also grounded out. But yeah, stolen base. He came in later. And then Bobby Miller gave up 3 in the first and then nothing the rest of the game. I don't know what happened. We were out to dinner. And just to see these things just go bonkers with badness in that first inning, it was what a bummer. Yeah, so that about covers what we saw today from our youngins. So they are, kind of a mixed bag today. It's getting hot. These guys are out there, in the heat, trying to do their thing. in a new area. Let's see. Oh, okay. We'll talk about this. Let's talk. We're gonna give me a minute because I'm gonna switch topics, switch screens again, so that we can. Because I want to. What I'm going to be doing is breaking these things up. So next, let's get the trade talk started, and we're going to lead it off from truly a friend of the show, Hepatitis See You Later. Okay, here we go. Ready? They're suggesting Gavin Stone, Ryan Papio, Landon Knack, Jose Ramos, Jesus Galiz, Eddys Leonard, CT3. You all know who that is. For Nolan Arenado, or as a friend of the show says, Norman Avocado, Jordan Montgomery, and Jordan Hicks. 2 Jordans. Do we need 2 Jordans? Fair deal for both sides. To be honest, yeah, it is. I think from the Dodgers' perspective, that's one of the questions I want to ask. I think it's going to take at least 2 of our high starters, of our high-ranked starters, to get moved. I don't think they can trade Bobby Miller. I think that defeats the purpose of the season. I think that they need to find a way to limit him and have him ready to go late September into October. I don't know how much. I think that this is a lot. We haven't got anything out of Papio yet because he's been hurt. He's coming soon. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Let's see. So those are 3. I consider all of those 3 top 10. I know Knack kind of borders between 15 and like 8. I think he's major league ready. I think Pep is too. Stone needs another few months, but I think he looked better. Really happy for him. He's been looking better, and so that's encouraging. Jose Ramos, yeah, I don't know if there's a spot for him on the Dodgers over the next couple years. Jesus Galiz is stuck. I really like Jesus, so that gets a little painful. And then Eddys Leonard, he just got DFA'd, so let's get him an opportunity. CT3, and the reason for CT3 is to get a little bit of money in there. Because we're going to talk about that with the next question. Because money does matter. It matters for how much luxury tax. The Dodgers are going to be in the penalty this year, probably next year, and depending on what they do, we'll see. I think it also depends. If they were to win a World Series or something like that, I think they go, hey, let's do like we did after 2017, which they should have won that World Series, and get under the luxury tax and reset. That was a good move in hindsight. It hurt a bit. Team got off to a rough start, but they still did some good things. And they would have been under this year if it wasn't for that redacted guy who's pitching in Japan. So I do think it's a fair trade. I don't want to necessarily do it because I think I'd like to replace one of these guys, one of these starters, with something else, another position player, or maybe even a lower starter. But the Dodgers are going to need starters next year. Julio, I think, is gone. Kershaw every year is a question mark. He's always hurt anyway. We always know. I want Kershaw back more than anything. But we also know he's going to miss 1, 2, 3 months of the season. So we can't unload everything. Okay, so the next question, would you rather trade for Arenado or try to sign Ohtani in the offseason? I doubt they take on both, but you never know. I think they could. And I think they will. If they're already going to be in the penalty, go big or go home. I'm going to pull up. Am I still on the? Oh shoot! Gosh darn it! I'm still on the new topic, aren't I? Great job. I need to edit that one for sure. I'm going to go real quick to Norman Avocado's contract. let's see. Oh, contract. I got to spell it out. So it's kind of interesting. So if you look at it, and this is all that matters, luxury tax salary. So 2023, it's under 15 million. So the Dodgers would be taking on the last 2 months of that. It's not going to impact terribly. And then 25, 25.5, 25.5, 25.5. Not the worst, because it averages like, 32.5. And then the last year is 30.5. So impactful, yes, and especially with Ohtani, which it's going to be 45 to 50 a year. The Dodgers will have to figure that one out. Good luck. But yeah, so there's definite things that need to be talked about with that. Let's see. What do you think Minnesota wants for Maeda or Gray? Huh. Yeah, I saw that. Rosenthal thinks they might deal when to give Keuchel a shot. I don't. If I'm Minnesota, I just trade Keuchel. Trade him. I would rather go with Maeda or Gray. I think Keuchel is fool's gold in some ways. But if they want to give him a shot, great. I'd love to have Maeda do what he's did in the past with the Dodgers. That guy's coming in the postseason in the bullpen. Sonny Gray would be a guy to get us 6 innings and give up 2-3 runs. And right now, I would really take that. And that's kind of like Jordan Montgomery, right? Jordan Hicks would come in and help close, which, yeah, we could use that. Let's see. Nolan's contract is very good. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and luxury tax wise, it works. At least it comes out to things because Colorado's paying some of that money, which is great. That's part of the weirdness of Colorado. That's why they stink, because it stinks from the very top of that organization. They could have gotten some Dodger prospects. Instead, they got some Cardinal crap and paid $50 million for the Cardinals to take the best player, in my opinion, they've ever had in their franchise. Hat tip to Doug McCain on that one. But yeah, terrible. Let's see. Yeah, so, Timothy, this is a really good point. That's true. Arenado's contract isn't too long. Just wonder if they devote as much money to offense versus starting pitching. Yeah, I still would contend that they need more starters. Lance Lynn is a risk, high risk. And so I'm not really going, oh, that's that's the guy that we're going to rely on. They got to get more if they're going to do to keep moving forward, right? At least that's what I think. I need to make this a little bit bigger because there we go. So I would still rather spend the money on the pitching. It's just who's out there. I mean, Jordan Montgomery, who right now for me is number one. I'm going to put Dylan Cease off the list right now. First of all, I don't think he's available. And second of all, he hasn't been as good as I have him on my fantasy team, and he's been really a disappointment. And it's not because of that. I mean, I'd like him, but I'm not trading how much for him? 3 plus good prospects. And I think the ship has sailed with the White Sox. They made the trade with the White Sox. Thank goodness. Gray isn't a big game pitcher. I would agree with that. In terms, and I don't think he's someone that I'm going, oh my gosh, we must have him. But he would fill a role. He would help to limit the innings. If we can go, let's do the fantasy, right? Clayton Kershaw is healthy. Julio Urias starts turning it around. Bobby Miller has enough in the tank for October, and Lance Lynn gets better. Not too bad. Then there's the other wild card, and I don't think it's very valid, but I'm going to throw it out there. Walker Buehler. Maybe Ryan Pepio can really come around. Yeah, Gray isn't a big game pitcher, and neither is Lance Lynn. Yeah. Lance Lynn, I guess, was pretty decent, I think, in the 2011 World Series. That's a long time ago. It's a Tommy John surgery ago. That's no, wait, he was not. No, he wasn't in the 2011 World Series. No, he wasn't. So, but he throws a lot of fastballs, a lot of varieties of fastballs. I'm not the biggest fan of his pitch mix. I do think, though, that we got the right people. We call it the Prior Lab, but for a good reason. They have worked some miracles. It's really quick, though, right? I mean, it's like, oh, okay, instant press and changeup. Mark Pryor and company are great at what they do. Come on, though. It's a high risk. I give it a 25% chance of helping out. And that's okay. That's why I hated trading Nastrini, because I'm so low on this. But Lance Lynn's a professional. He's had a lot of success. He's made a lot of money, and people wanted him. The Rays wanted him, and we wanted him. So that does say something. Yeah. Okay. Good. Really good. Yeah. Good point. So it hurts to lose Nastrini, but I'd rather give up a number 9 prospect for 2 arms than our 2 and 3 prospects for Giolito. However, the Angels prospects they gave up are basically like our 8 and 9. So it's kind of it's very similar. I would think, it would have taken 2. Yeah, and giving up 1 good prospect. And it's a 9. It's a strong 9. It's a good 9. Ours is a good 9. So it's a 5 for other teams. Probably a 5 for the White Sox. It'll be interesting to see where he slots. But to get 2 rentals, I'm kind of okay with that. We got Joseph, the greatest, and we got, Lance Lynn or risk. But it's interesting. And I'd rather do that than it would have taken 2 for Giolito, 2 of our top 10s. Do you think most Dodger fans will be disappointed by Friedman this deadline, or does he have a Max Scherzer type trade up his sleeve? Oh, don't ever sleep on Andrew Friedman, right, Sean? I do think he's trying. He's always trying for elite talent, and so if they're out there, then they're gonna find it. If anyone's gonna find it, it is him. The Max Scherzer Trey Turner trade is one of the most interesting trades, and I have no problem with it. I still have no problem with it. I'd do it again every year. I would do that. Sal, I'm not a fan of spending all that money on a 32-year-old Arenado. He will be 36 at the end. Yeah, there's a lot to that. I look at Arenado as, well, he's still a good hitter. And, but he could already be slowing down. A lot of wear and tear on that body. And his glove has taken a dip this year. I think, but defensive-wise, and I'm kind of looking a lot at this year and next year. I'm going, man, do we want Max Muncy at third base again in the postseason? Even if Arenado is slowing down, still think he's a way better at third base than Max Muncy will ever be. So I'm kind of like that, but it's a lot of money. It is a lot of money, and a lot of talent that will have to go over there. They were definitely asking for DePaula. Well, they can go pound sand if it's for DePaula. As I said it before, I think he's their number 1. Maybe wrong about that. Let's see, John Davis. Do I see? He's getting Nolan. Yeah, we've been talking about that a bit. Thanks for joining us, John. Yeah, we've been talking. I can see it. I don't know if it's going to really happen, but they did sign Freddie Freeman last year, going into his year 32 season. He's 33, and Nolan's 32 this year. I'm going to take a quick look at his. Really, how old is he? I mean, in terms of, I didn't really see the days, but he starts Next year is his age 33 season. So that's legit. And third base is a lot more wear and tear than first base. Same time, boy, I think he would fit in really well. But I want to win. And again, going back to what Doug McCain has been preaching, and I'm really buying into it a lot more. This is a special year in terms of who we have, because who we won't have next year. Definitely Julio. He's gone, in my opinion, unless he takes a QO the way he's going. That guy's lost millions and millions of dollars with his season this year, but he can still recover. I would love to get even just Jordan Montgomery. So Jordan Montgomery and Hicks would be a good package as well, even if we can't get Nolan. That would be 4 fresh arms in total. Yeah, this team needs 4 fresh and healthy arms. My only problem with Hicks is he's got some wildness, but man, he throws really, really hard, and would be he would fit right in, because it's another look that they would have to the bullpen. Montgomery would come in, and I don't even know if he's a playoff starter. I kind of don't care.
Hyundai Elantra versus Toyota Corolla.
Sorry about that.
Look what Elantra has.
Let's kill that page. Thanks, Sport Track, for throwing crappy commercials on my feed there. But Montgomery's a lefty, and he's not really he's not totally proven to me, but he's good enough to go and throw 6 innings a game, give up 2 to 3 runs, help Bobby Miller to not accumulate too much. There's going to be a battle. The Dodgers will be battling all the way till the end of the season. I think that's good, but it's going to wear the team down, wear the pitching down. Freddie doesn't take the pounding. Yep, at first like a third baseman, taking on much money and giving up too much. Yeah, and I'm more concerned about giving up the talent. I would think if the Dodgers are taking on that whole contract, that the prospect level should be down. You got to, just looking at it this way, when they got Nolan from the Rockies, they didn't give up that much. So I don't think they need to give up. I think it would be 2 of our top 15 starters for sure. Probably 2 of our top 10, and then you fill it out with a 20 to 25 prospect and a wild card. And I don't know about the whole CT3 or Max Muncy going over there. I don't know about that. So I'm just not sure about that. But that's all speculation. It would be gone through losing so many players that are quote favorites of mine that I don't even care anymore. I want to win. I want to go to a parade, but I want to go to many parades. Let's see, in a playoff setting, I can see Hicks, scaring elite hitters, having him face Riley or Acuna, and in the NLCS. Exactly. Braves are the best team right now in baseball. I think that's pretty factual. They're going to be really tough to beat in the postseason. And how all in should the Dodgers go to try to beat them and then win this thing? Let alone I still believe they're going to have to beat the freaking Padres. They're going to get in there. I don't agree with D-Mac and his win now attitude. Dodgers have had that mentality since 2019. They have only one World Series to show for it. We have the talent and built the team for the future. Yeah, I agree with that. But remember this: Mookie he's going to be 31 next year. Freddie's going to be 34. And we're going to be without Urias. Kershaw will be another year older. And I don't go full in like Doug does. I'm not giving up a bunch of dudes for rentals. But if there's some, and I'm not gonna, I think it was too much for Lance Lynn, with Nastrini. But I would have done for Giolito. I would have gone in for Giolito with Nastrini, and he did the same trade package. Maybe that's what they did. And I would go to get Arenado. I would do certain things because I think the biggest strength of the minor league system, there's two of them. Catchers, so you got to include a catcher, and right-handed starting pitching. So I think there's I think you can work through that. Let's see, Tamale, I'm split on Arenado, and how well he ages is a legit concern. Absolutely. Everyone, for anyone growing old, that's the thing. But I also give him benefit of the doubt. The Hall of Fame path guys that tend to age better. Yeah, he could be. That was one reason that I wrote an article at Dodgers Nation, the end of the 2018 season, saying keep Machado. That he was worth doing because I thought he would age well, and he has aged well. Dude's playing really well now. I don't know if you guys saw the play. And I'm not a fan of Machado. I mean, we old Johnny Hustle and all that crap. Plus, he's on the Padres now, a big whiny kid, trying to be a leader, and he's trying. I'll give him credit. But, I mean, he's on his butt between second and third, short and third. And he was in, so he's along the base path pretty much. But he ended up on his butt and threw the guy out at first base from his tail. Kind of impressive. Let's see hepatitis C later. I get what D-Mac was saying, but he said he would include Bobby in a deal to get Nolan and Jordan Montgomery. I wouldn't. That's the difference between Doug and myself. I think we keep Bobby Miller. If we want to win this year, I think we need to keep him. I think you can get those guys without Bobby. There's a lot of guys that you could give up and not give up Bobby. I think you cannot give up pitchers that are helping you right now. Now, if any of the other guys right now that are younger and that are starting, and if they were traded for Montgomery in a Montgomery trade with Nolan, I would not trade Sheehan or somebody or Gavin or anyone like that just for Montgomery. I would not do that. But if someone like that gets in trade with Nolan and Montgomery, that's different. Then I would you can include those guys. But Bobby, I think, is a guy that we need to have. Montgomery's number 4. I agree. Nolan is still great, but negative on trading Bobby. With you, 100%. Hepatitis C ya later. 100% agree. Sean, if Dodgers are win now, we should DFA Barnes. We all know it's true. No lies there. So I have a different alternative, which is to he gets injured and he stays with the team, or send him to OKC on the rehab and allow him to maybe get his swing back. If he doesn't get his swing back, you go get another catcher anyway. In my opinion, it is too late for Mr. Fiducia. I hate that, but I do think it's too late for Fiducia this year. If it's for some reason they don't like him. Just saying, I just don't think they do. I don't know what it is. No inside information there at all, but actions speak louder than words. But Barnes, you go get a backup catcher now. Barnes goes on the IL and rides out the season, and he's on the taxi squad for the playoffs if he doesn't get his swing back in OKC. It's very simple. You got to have a full bench. We cannot make the last out of a Game 7 with a weak hitter off the bench. That can't happen. You got to have something coming off. It's got to be. I want to another bat like a Peralta as our backup catcher. I know that's asking a lot, but go get him. Now's the time. Make sure you have enough to give Will enough rest during the season, and that And I like Barnes too. That's what kind of sucks. It always sucks about that, the decline there. Let's see. Yep. The Phantom IL are offering more money to coach if he's that valuable in the clubhouse. Yeah, I agree. But hey, let's get back to 2016 when they traded A.J. Ellis for Ruiz. Was it, what did they call him? Chooch was what they called him. Was it Carlos? I can't remember anymore. Ruiz. was an upgrade. He got the game-winning RBI in that Game 5 against the Nationals. It was very upsetting. He had Kershaw crying in the dugout, and everyone's all upset. One of the things that I've seen, and I think it hurt them in 2019, Rich Hill had been injured, but the players wanted him on the playoff roster. He didn't help. He just did not help. Let's see. CT3 is kind of the odd man out with Kike, Ahmed, Rojas. I can see him in Cardinals trade if they really want CT or Muncy. It wouldn't surprise me, but yeah, I'm not sure about. If you look at the team right now, with the way the team is configured with the infield and the outfield, pretty good in terms of just that. There's room for everybody. Really the only weak spot now on the bench is our backup catcher. He's not helping defensively. He's not helping offensively. It's the mental stuff, and let him be there. Right now, Bobby, the Game 2 starter over Julio, I like it in some ways just because it mixes it up. He has a better chance to power through hitters. Yeah, Julio got to get his act together. I brought it up a long time ago. And Doug's he's on board with this now, but pitch clock is impacting him. And Julio needs to be in better shape. His cardio, I don't think it's any good. He's a big boy. He's too big. He's a professional athlete. Go lose 20, 30 pounds for next year. And he probably will, especially if he has a make-do contract. But he needs to lose weight. He needs to get his cardio up. Needs to do some zone 2 and then some zone 5 exercising. Really get that pounding, get that heart pounding so that he could do that. It's coming. You pitch, you're going to get that ball back. You got 15 seconds. And he's not ready. Rory Calhoun. Man, I agree with this. Do not give DePaula away. Do not. I'm not giving him away. I ain't trading him away. I'm keeping him. I'm definitely the only way I would have considered moving him at all was for a Shohei trade like last year or something like that. But we didn't know how. We knew a little bit about him, but not that much. Like I said, I consider him the number 1 prospect. Kershaw's retiring, would not be surprising. Julio is gone, I think so. Gonsolin, let's talk about Gonsolin for a second. Well, we'll go. We have Walker and May coming back next year. We need starting pitching, in my opinion. That's true. Dustin May is done as a starter, and he doesn't come back till mid next year. He got hurt so darn fast because his mechanics are terrible. They're terrible for health. They got him to the major leagues because it helped him with all that extra whip and everything like that. But he's all over the place. It's just, and you can't really change that very easily. It's up to him. I hope Kershaw's not retiring. I want him to get that parade, and I want him to get 3,000 Ks. That would be really cool. And then Walker. Yeah, and there's no guarantee Walker's going to be as good. I think he will be because he's special. He's our ace. Yeah. So this is Sean. Stone, Pepio, Miller, Knack, Frasso, Hurt. Dodgers have better pitchers that we can find on the trade market. Yeah, but not this year. Other than Miller and maybe Pep. I think, Miller and Pep I'd rather have than Lance Lynn. I think some of these guys are relievers. I think in the future, and it always works out that way. But I think you can move 2 of these guys if you need to. And again, if you look at this is a logjam right there. They all need to prove themselves. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm glad this came out. Hepatitis C later. Dodgers might go get Verlander or Scherzer. Those guys have struggled, but at least there's at least some chance they could throw a gem in a playoff setting. J-Mont kind of is what he is. Yeah, very good point. If you all recall, the Dodgers did go after Verlander. Came in second, of course, to the Mets. Mets went way overboard. The Mets, there is a lesson there, folks. And so Would I want? I'll admit it. I'd take Verlander or Scherzer, just on that point, because there is upside. But boy, they're risky, and there's that money. And I always, when it gets to the money, I cop out and I say it's not my money. And guess what? It's not my money. But it does impact the salary cap or the luxury tax. And there was another thing that I saw. I don't know if it's true, because I think it's heavy grifting season. I'm grifting right now. Heavy grifting season for the national sports writers. This is where they make their money. They're making money. They make money off their clicks. They make money off the links and being first and all that stuff. That's why you see all these things going on. But they said that the Dodgers are not. Someone said, I don't recall, I should have bookmarked it, that the Dodgers are not taking anyone on that has a contract beyond next year. Or beyond this year, sorry. They only want expiring contracts. So if that's the case, that would mean no Verlander, no Scherzer. We'll see. And I think it's really, if that does happen, that means that some money's going to be coming back to the Dodgers also, or they're going to be taking on, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Trinan, Taylor, Muncy, I don't know, whatever. They have to be taking on something. Barnes. Yeah. So I think that is kind of throws it out there, though. And Montgomery is what he is. If he's a Game 4 starter, I'm good with that. I don't want him in. Well, I just don't want to see what happened last year, where Julio and Kershaw pitched decent enough last year in the playoffs. Not their best, but at least good enough. But then Gonsolin comes in again for the playoffs and gets lit up. And I think for Gonsolin, it's not that he's a bad pitcher. I think it's by that time he's toast for the season. Eduardo Rodriguez, okay, that's another one to talk about. Another left-hander. That's right up there with Jordan Montgomery. I think he's also got a contract that's going to be a little weird. Let's be honest, I don't see the Dodgers playing DePaula. They get all these rehab players in the outfield. Yeah, that takes up playing time. They can't even play DeLuca. There's a difference, though. I think DePaula has some special tools as a hitter, and he's different. He really is. The fact that he's only 18, basically was 17 when he got called up, they think a lot of him, and he has some very special hitting tools. DeLuca has, I think he's a nice defender. He's pretty darn fast. He's a very nice player, and it kind of sucks how he's, he got hurt. That's worse. And he can't even go down and get ready just in case someone else gets hurt and come back up. But he was going to get sent down, which sucks. I think he's earned his way to stay. But DePaula has, again, the hit tool. It might be very, very special that no one else in the organization has. That's an opinion. Just watch the swings, watch his head, watch how things just don't, the arms move and all that, but the head moves very little. The eye is elite. It's Juan Soto-esque, and well, hopefully without the growing lower half of his body as Juan Soto turns into Jock Peterson right in front of our eyes. If you ever run into Friedman again, ask him what he thinks of DePaula. I am going to. I hope he's on the Friedman no trade list. He's not gonna answer my question, but I will literally tell him. I said, guy that's the most impressive to me is DePaula. I'm just saying. And he'll go, oh yeah. Andrew Friedman's not gonna give up anything. None of those guys do. But DePaula, gets promoted as a 17-year-old, and they're batting him in the top 3 right away, almost every game. Today he played center field, which is good to see. He had a bad day at the plate, but he's special, and I think he is. it was mentioned in the chat, not the chat, but in one of my couple DePaula things. It was a legit point. He's not showing any power yet. I think it's there. He's only 18. He's a little thin. Yeah. Well, this came up case podcast the other day. Would you rather spend the next big contract on Ohtani or Soto? Oh, it's Ohtani. I like Soto a lot. I think his hit tool is fantastic. But I also think that he's going to be just a DH. He's getting bigger and bigger, and but I would have went really hard after Soto last year. His bat translates into the postseason just because he can get the bat on the ball and hit it hard. I mean, his exit velocities are really strong. Ohtani, it's beyond the field of play in terms of economics for the team. If you're a businessman, it's Ohtani. That's the guy. Just like Valenzuela brought in, the Mexican community. Ohtani, like Nomo-san before, would bring in the Japanese fans. I mean, you go to an Angels game, and even if he's not pitching, there's a lot of Japanese fans there, and they're all wearing number 17. I don't disagree. He's a great young player. I hope I'm wrong, but we just waste talent not letting them play. Yeah, but at the same time, they have let a lot of guys play this year, which is really cool. And, I'm pretty still pissed about last year with some of the things that they did. But they did let a lot of kids play this year, and it's good. And they got some mixed results. Now, this year, they gave them 3+ months. Not bad. I would have given them a little longer, right up to the trade deadline. But, now it's time to win. And Outman has shown that he is ready to continue that. And so has Bobby Miller. I think they didn't play DeLuca enough. I would have started him at least a few times against right-handers. My goodness. So I think that's a miss. But maybe they're not as high on DeLuca as some of us are. But I do think, Sal, that those are this year they've done a better job of that, of integrating those guys, and some have worked out, some haven't. But the good news is the guys that haven't worked out yet, there is next year. That's the best thing, and I think they're going to go right back to giving Vargas time and all that. So that's good. But and they learned. These guys, it's only a bad thing if you don't learn from your mistakes, learn from your errors and things like that. Let's see. The baseball guys trying to make things right after the Jordan trade. Maybe spawn another Jordan in the Dodger system. Yeah, I would have initially said that, but I think it's more Soto but he's taller and better build, faster, really good arm. He told me personally, and he said I'm allowed to share this, with the momentum on a 1 or 2 hopper. Radar gun got him his arm at 102 miles an hour from the outfield on his throw. There's an argument that Soto ages better than Ohtani and is a better investment. Soto is younger, yes. Him being a DH right away preserves him. Maybe. Ohtani doing both may hurt him. That's very possible. I agree. I don't disagree with that. I just I think Ohtani is overall, because of the pitching wise, and he may, and he's got Tommy John, throws the freaking splitty. That's a riskier thing. There's a risk there. But Soto, I don't know what's going on in the Padre clubhouse, but I've heard, and we've seen things that he's focusing more on himself. I don't know if that's true. His agent is Boris. He's going to take the most money he can get. The reason you invest a lot of money into Ohtani is because he can do 2 things. And I bet Ohtani could play the outfield if he can pitch. He's an excellent athlete. Soto's not. He's actually still decent speed. I think he's 26.8, so he's only 24, and that lower half of his, He's only getting bigger. Oh, okay. Ken Rosenthal says Mariners would deal young pitcher Logan Gilbert for Michael Busch, Ryan Pepio, and Jose Ramos. Who says no first? Oh, I think the Dodgers let that happen. I think they'd do that. I hate it, but some of y'all know I'm like the OG Pepio guy. I want him to have a shot though too. So I would like to keep Pepio. I think he's going to help us this year, and plus his arm's fresher than the rest of the guys. So I like that idea. I'd like to substitute someone else than Pepio. Michael Busch needs to go if they're not going to trade him, especially if they do somehow get Arenado, which I put the odds of that 10%. No, as you guys know, no inside information. These are opinions. Chandler, what's up? My guy Chandler from Rancho. See him at the Rancho games. We have good chats on Instagram. He challenges my brain to see who's who these guys are. So it's cool. Sal says Soto is overhyped. He's an average outfield. Very true. Inconsistent with the bat. I agree with this. The Dodgers should not have given up Seager. Yeah, I know. I agree. Seager's biggest problem is he's missing one of the you've heard it. What do they call 5-tool players? Well, it's really 6-tool, and that's availability. And that's Seager. He breaks down. I think Soto is also going to have injury issues. Now I know he's got some type of finger issue. Those happen, but I think as you get in worse shape, the more that can happen. Where you're gonna, if you, and trust me, as a guy who used to be really overweight, the bigger you are, the worse shape you're in, the more you get hurt. And so everyone make sure, track your calories, walk every day, get some movement. Julio, do the same. You think the Dodgers say no to that? Yeah, I think the thing is Logan Gilbert's more proven than Pep, but I like Pepio, and he had such a good spring training before he got hurt, so I'd like to keep him. Chandler, yes, gonna miss Nastrini. Yeah, me too, man. You missed it earlier, but he actually him and I have a couple real good mutuals. I can't even watch Seager yet. Yeah, it's still too soon. Yeah, gosh darn it, hate that. He should have been a Dodger for life. I just wish that his agent was Boris. He got an amazing contract. California would have taken $401 million to match that contract in terms of how much Corey Seager would have been taking home. That's California. Hey, but we got great weather. Even when it's hot, it ain't Texas hot. And I'm going to find out about Texas hot in a little more than 3 weeks. First, Orlando, Florida hot. Then Texas hot. We're doing that. My wife and I are three days in Orlando, 3 days in Austin to visit our children. My favorite Quakes player currently? No, I'm not going to answer that because I'll get in trouble. Chandler, who is your favorite Quakes player currently? Let's see. Oh boy, oh come on, Sean, you're just killing me. Are you gonna make me cry? Corey Seager, Adrian Beltre, Paul Canerico, Mike Piazza, Pedro Martinez. Dodgers have let some all-time greats get away. Yeah. And Seager prime, Beltre after 48 dongs, Canerico early, but he hit over 400 home runs after he left. Piazza in the middle of his prime. Pedro, hey, old number 2 said he was too small. Lorenzo, hey, I love that guy. Chandler, have you had a chance to meet him yet? That dude he's a good dude. If you don't know, he's a chef, man. I don't know if you speak Spanish, Chandler, but check out the interview we got with him. It's all in Spanish though, but I met him in spring training. He is one of my favorites, just in terms of he's so easy to talk to, and he's always smiling, having a good time. Will Lorenzo be a top 100 in the future? Yeah, I think so. What got me with Alonso, even before I really saw much behind the plate, was what he did at the plate. Um, the the thunder from the bat, it's real. The power's for real, and he's only 20, so I like him a lot. And it's the hit, and I've talked to some guys, some pitchers, they really like him, in terms of receiving with him. So we'll see. He's also been playing some first base, but he might have the bat to even DH. I don't know. Maybe try him at third. Get some versatility in him. But, yeah, if Kershaw retires, Urias leaves, I know. No homegrown guys as leaders are on the team except Will Smith, who is invisible as a face of the team. We got to continue with the youth movement next year. Oh, yeah, it's going to continue. There's plenty of it coming. I think Outman will be a leader as he continues to grow. I think that pitching-wise, Walker Buehler is that guy. Yeah, it's just a matter of some of these guys getting going in there and doing it. I do think though that learning from guys like Mookie and Freddie, man, and they also won the freaking ping pong thing. But Coach Chandler, see, you text him on Instagram. Good, he's a good guy. Yeah, definitely. I know it's one of the things with catchers is they're very busy. But yeah, make sure you meet him sometime. And then yeah, I do consider about that. What's the next Dodgers trade? That's great question. I think we got to get one more pitcher, right? I mean, chat. What do you think? Is it Jordan Montgomery? I don't know. Is it Justin Verlander? Is it Max Scherzer? I think those are really low on the possibilities. Is it what's his name? Flaherty, which I just don't get. It sucks no Miggy in the playoffs. Yeah, really wanted to see him go off. He had a better shot than three of the guys that were in the lineup. Taylor, Bellinger, and Turner. Those guys did nothing of value. Turner didn't hit the ball. Turner's doing really well right now. Good for him. But by October comes, he's done. And he's proven that the last quite a few years. I mean, he did hit a home run in the World Series in 2020. But the rest of his numbers, not very good. Ever since the one home run off of Lackey. The 2017 World Series, he was bad. Yeah. So hopefully Miggy can get going. I think some of the better talent from a position player is at the lower levels. Glasnow from the Rays, yeah, I wish, but he's a free agent in a couple year or so. After next year, that's a possibility. I was at game 2, shocked to see Dave pinch hit. Yeah, Austin Barnes, the face hater. I want to see Miggy in that spot. Absolutely. That you want to at least have a guy that has a chance. Now, Miggy has seen, though he has struggled a little bit with some of the heat, with the high end heat. But Austin Barnes has been struggling to hit anything the last couple of years. And, I know Miggy's still got the hit tool, and it's gonna happen for him. It's just, I think it all just kind of really twisted and just never recovered. From this last year. It's a real bummer, but all right. Let's see. Real quick, if the Dodgers were to go after a backup catcher, who do you want? Max Fried's a free agent after next season. Thing is, he's going to be like 32, his first time in free agency, and he's been a little off and on. But he's another guy we know. Him, Giolito, Flaherty, those guys are Dodger guys. Arenado, they would love to play with the Dodgers, but they're not going to give a big discount. Did Austin Riley struggle his first year as well? Absolutely. Yeah, I was listening to MLB Network. They were talking about that yesterday. And 2020, he wasn't really that good, and they were messing around with him, playing him in left field. Think with Miggy, remember he was also learning a new position on the fly. Yeah, he played a little bit of second base over the years, but not near as much. And so now he's playing all the time at second base at OKC. Michael Busch is playing all the time at third. Just keep that in mind for next year. I didn't see your next Dodger. Would you say, Sal? I missed it, man. Which is, it's kind of good that the chat's been busy that I actually missed that. That's actually a cool thing. I appreciate y'all. What do you got, Sal? Please send it to me again if you could. Yeah, what is the next Dodger move? That's the question. Is it a backup catcher? I think it's got to be. It's a trade Miguel Vargas for Nude Bar. You know who would go crazy over that is my youngest. He loves old half Japanese, half Lars Ulrich, Newt Bar. He loves Lars, man. It's kind of cool. I was thinking of the catching market. I thought of Salvador Perez, but no way the Dodgers take on that money. That's true. But he is an upgrade over Barnes. Yeah, you are an upgrade over Barnes. Sorry, Austin. I just had to say it. We got to have a little bit of humor here. The Dodgers get Blake Snell. Oh, yeah, you've been on that, haven't you? Man, wouldn't that be the weirdest thing? You know, Blake Snell becomes a Dodger, and he has to go, and he has to look Austin Barnes in the eye, and Austin Barnes can go, I knocked you out of that game, and your team fell apart. And he did. He did. Oh. Yan Gomes, yes. Really good catcher, too. Chandler, yeah, can't believe we cut Eddys. I know. Well, I haven't cut him yet, but I don't, he's DFA'd, so I think they're going to trade him. He's just going to end up in a trade. So there was something that's been brought up a few times, but I'm going to bring it up again. Something to remember. Next year, there's a limit of the number of players you can have in your organization. It's 165. Right now, the Dodgers have 199 last time Josh Thomas, the Dodgers Digest, checked. 199. They have to get rid of 34 guys by next year. And remember, they just brought in the draft guys. I don't even know if all those guys from the draft have been accounted for. So they have to get rid of guys. That's why you see, you saw a guy like Dayton Dooney get released. There's gonna be a few more guys that are gonna get released. It's gonna hurt. It does get personal. He is a veteran as well, well respected, and better than Barnes. He's better than Barnes in all aspects. No excuse the Dodgers can't make that move from a chemistry standpoint. I agree. Again, put him on the IL, let him stay in the dugout. He's the new coach, and I honestly believe he's a future manager. If they respect him so much that they're willing to let him hit Mendoza line divided by 2, then why not? He should be on the coaching staff, and I think he's a future manager, not Justin Turner. So I would go with him. This is a team that if any team could withstand, losing somebody, it is this team. This team has great chemistry. You can see it. I've been in the locker room, spring training, and I've been in there once this year, hoping to get it another time or two. But the chemistry's there. Doug sees it, and we hear about it. And it's one of the things that I read, and I think it's really important that anytime there's a Dodger event, that Peralta, Rojas, and Hayward are there. They're always there. And then you see Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts teaming up on ping pong. And you see all the weirdness and the silly little Freddie dance, whatever that they're doing. I would never do it because I would look really the fool. But they want to do that, and some don't look stupid doing it. Mookie's got his groove, and Kike looked good doing it. Kike is just funny. I enjoy Kike. Have a good night, Tim, and chat. Yes, getting up early. Going to Nevada. All right, man. Take care. Get some good hands out there, right? Now the Dodgers got a guy like Hayward that's going to cook up. It's gonna cook up speed to March and come back in the playoff game. Yeah, yeah. You know what? Hayward is one of those guys. He's well respected. James Outman swears by him. Um, yeah, Hayward's. And hey, the Cubs are paying for that. They're paying 21 million. Dodgers are paying 700 plus 750 million. So thank you, Cubs. Um, and by the way, the Cubs are in it. They're not trading. So Belly. He's going to stay with Cub the rest of the year, it looks like. Stroman also. I would love to have Stroman, but I think he's off the market. If it's between Montgomery and Stroman, I'd rather have Marcus. But I don't think it's happening. So I try to be real with these things. And even the Arenado stuff, the Dodgers got a better chance of getting Arenado than Stroman this year. And I wouldn't give Stroman a huge contract, but, I'm glad. Good for him. Any guy that can make a good run for a contract, I applaud. And including Bellinger, old. Some call him the big dummy. A lot of names about him. Yeah, Yankees punching air. They wanted Belly bad. The Yankees are punching air all season, man. And they lost on a walk off in the night. Today on a home run. Santander, is that his name? Off of old friend Tommy Kahnle. Yankees might sell. Is there anyone from the Yankees that we'd want? Garrett Cole. I'll take Garrett Cole. I would take Garrett Cole, that's for sure, and I'd give up a lot for him. Because I would. He's that good. Yeah. So let's see what happens, folks. I am going to sign off because, well, I've been drinking this drink, and I appreciate y'all. We will be chatting again, hopefully Sunday night. I got to talk to, I think Trinidad and I are going to do the show together. We're going to try it on Zoom. And then I will be doing some live stuff during the trade deadline. I know that I'm going to be competing against a bunch of people. That's fine. We'll just have fun. I'll be, writing, recording, watching the Twitter machine, and chatting it up. If you guys want to come on out, I appreciate it. So that's it for now. Thank you very much. You guys are the best. The truly knowledgeable Dodger fans definitely are coming here. The prospect huggers. We're all kind of the same. We actually like to keep all of them, let them all play, but we know the realities, and that's kind of where I'm dealing with right now, is trying to just deal with those realities and hoping that all the players that we are following right now get a chance to play in the major leagues, whether it's with the Dodgers or with someone else. So on that note, thanks everyone. I will talk to you later, and it'll be soon. Adios.